hope you can't. Can you hear me? Jump if you can hear me. Ah, shit. I was just about to record a video, so this is gonna be awkward. Okay. So that was very awkward because I don't think my teammates would appreciate me just yabbing to myself like a goddamn annoying YouTuber when they're actually trying to play this game. But welcome, my wise ones. This is Marathon. How's it going? Welcome back, my wonderful wise ones. Today we're taking a look at Marathon. This is the new game released by Bungie, and basically, you know, this is their new Destiny. And it's kind of competing with games like Arc Raiders and all that kind of stuff. So I've been playing it for quite a while now, and instead of my usual video review, early access look, where I, you know, record footage first and go over, I just thought I would do a live demonstration of this game, just to show people what it's actually like, and just play a match. So I've been playing it for a while now, and yeah, it's pretty good, I would say. But there are some things that I'm just not sure about with this game, and I'm not sure it's going to live up to the hype of something like Arc Raiders, and that people are going to necessarily play this game for a long period of time. We'll just have to wait and see. So this is it. This is Marathon, and I'm gonna do a bit of a solo run. That way I can just kind of take my time, show off the art style, talk about the vibes of this game, because I think that is important when deciding, you know, if you're actually going to pay for a multiplayer game. Now, this is not free to play. They are asking for around $40, which is quite a lot. And first of all, let me just get off the bat the controversy, the stuff that I don't like about this game. And as an artist, okay, someone who makes music, go check out my Spotify, by the way. A new album, Divinity, is coming out at the end of this month. So a small little shout out to that, as there's no sponsor today, so I'm sponsoring myself. Thank you very much. But as an artist, okay, I fucking hate AI, okay? I hate it with a passion. But you know what's worse than AI? Because at least AI can't have any morality, and it's just being made by these horrible scumbags in big tech and scraping all of our data. You know, we want AI that helps us do the dishes, helps us do annoying tasks, not AI that steals creative human expression so we have nothing to live for anymore. But that's what it's doing. Just scraping all the art online and stealing, you know, just ideas, and just that's how they generate all of this garbage, okay? By scraping real art and not actually, you know, giving any commission back to the artist or anything like that. So it's a pretty fucked up world right now. Holy shit, that scared me. But anyway, one thing I don't like about this game, and you've probably heard about it before, is Bungie, being the sleazeballs that they have become recently, is they have stolen a lot of graphic art, okay? I'm not saying all of this, like, amazing art, you know, has nothing to do with Bungie. Of course, that isn't the case. And I do love the art style. I thought I wasn't that sure on it to begin with, but actually it does pop nicely without feeling like too much. It reminds me of kind of Mirror's Edge, but mixed in with, you know, a kind of cyberpunk, more grungy aesthetic. So the good news about all of that controversy and stealing art, I just thought I would bring it up because the point is it should never happen in the first place, especially in this world with AI and all this bullshit. Humans, especially, should not be lazy when creating something, and, you know, reusing art without actually remixing it or creating something new is just theft, okay? But luckily, as of right now, I've done my research. They have actually addressed it. Bungie have apologized, and Bungie did contact the artist, and they did resolve the matter somehow, maybe through compensation, I'm not sure, but it has been resolved. Bungie should be more careful, and the fact that this has happened before with their games is not a good sign. So anyway, what is this? This is an extraction shooter, okay? And the reason I didn't want to do a full review on it and just wanted to show you some live gameplay is because I'm still not sure about this game. I don't want to do tons of editing and put a lot of work into this video when I'm not even sure how much I like it myself. But basically what you have is different shells, okay? Like Ghost in a Shell, very cyberpunk. You have all of these different bodies, and they all have their own unique abilities. Like this one is much more of a combat-focused, you know, shell. A combat specialist, so and then we also have stuff like enhanced movement if you want that, or an intel specialist, or if you want to play a more stealthy option, you can use this for like invisibility and stuff like that. So there's lots of different shells to choose from, and basically what you do is you go through different runs, you collect loot, and you add it to your vault, and if you die, you lose everything. So it's an extraction shooter. It's a little bit boring. There needs to be more to this, I think. And the problem that I have with it so far is the loot that you get, it's very difficult to actually know what the fuck you're picking up, because all of it is very convoluted and it's not straightforward, and it takes time to actually read it, which, you know, is not a very smart decision when it's a extraction shooter. And the aesthetic and everything, I really do like it. It's going for that Blade Runner super cyberpunk, you know, style and aesthetic of everything being interlinked now with digitized, you know, consciousness and AIs and all this disgusting stuff that sadly our world is heading towards, transhumanism. But honestly, games like Metal Eden are fucking fantastic, and no one's talking about that. That's such a better cyberpunk shooter. So go play that, or games like Cyberpunk, okay? What I found so far is the lore and everything that it gives you. It does give you a lot of lore to read through, but it's all very generic stuff. It's very filler, and a lot of it is fluff, I find. And it's kind of just a bit generic, some of the stuff. I'll showcase some of the kind of lore and interactions that you can get as you progress.
Per our arrangement, you've come to Tau Ceti to scavenge the ruins of a long-lost human colony. Now that we've successfully calibrated you to new Cascadia systems, our next step is connecting with factions who will pay for your services.
So this is, of course, my marathon early access review. Just a quick marathon review based on all this, you know, early access gameplay. So essentially what you need to be doing is, you know, looking for loot, and it is fun when you do encounter players, but the thing is, you know, in teams, it's always going to end in violence, whereas Arc Raiders is a little bit more like you can actually form alliances, which I like. That reminds me of, you know, older games like DayZ, which I really liked. With this, you know, most of the time when you find another team, you're going to basically, you know, shoot each other. That's how it always ends. I do like the fact that there's lots of like little animations for everything. You can, you know, hunker down in buildings, you know, if you are being surrounded by enemy forces, like the AI or other players, stuff like that. And the art style, like I said, I really do like it. The rest of the art style that is original, like all of this kind of stuff, it is beautiful. Performance-wise, it's fantastic. I'm running it on a, you know, not like a super beefy rig, but like a, you know, a good machine, but it can handle it. And even on lower end systems, this is only a 4070 with an i9, and it's running everything on high settings. Alright, so let's get into some combat, and I'll demonstrate what exactly we're about. So now I'm... Oh. Like stuff like this is like alien life, which is kind of cool, and you can actually shoot them. Which is kind of cool detail. Oh. Okay, that's not a friend. It's another player. Sorry, son. You did this to yourself, boy! No. Finish him. Alright. Now I can take his loot. But what I mean by all of this loot stuff is it's quite difficult to actually know what the fuck any of it is. You need to, you know, obviously play the game, get better at it, and then you'll know what you're picking up. But a lot of it is just random junk. And I do like that there is, like, downtime, you know, in between, like, looking for loot and, you know, fighting other AI and players. Like, there is some nice, like, chill moments. And the map itself, as you can see, it's pretty big for each area. And, you know, one slip up and it's all over. So it does remind me a lot of Arc Raiders. Fuck. Pretty sure that was a sentry gun. Yeah. Heavy rounds. So, some things are very obvious and clear. Other things not so much. So there you go, that's the shield. Kind of replenishing. So it's not automatic like Halo, which I really like. And I just like how everything's clunky. Like, the overall gameplay is good, but it needs more to it than a simple extraction-based loop, in my opinion. There needs to be clear missions to actually complete. That would make it much more... Oh, fuck. That would make it much more exciting. Alright, I've got to focus here. So I've got these missiles at the moment, which are pretty useful. As you can see, they're quite powerful. But this turret is very strong. Alright, looks like I'm taking on a whole enemy base here. Fuck, I'm out of ammo. And also, everything takes time, like, it's clunky, like I said. Like, when you need to heal, you actually have to use a physical item, it's not all automatic. I do like that. Oh, shit. Alright. And you can hunker down, as I said. But it is sometimes just difficult to know what you're picking up. So overall, I like the gunplay in this game. It does feel very snappy, very responsive. And I do like the fact that you have to actually use items. And, you know, it's slow, deliberate. And the time to kill in this is actually very quick. So in some ways, it's almost tactical, which I do like as well. So shooting, I think it's good. You can definitely tell it's made by people, you know, who worked on Destiny and Halo. Visually, I think it looks amazing as well. Sound design is good. For overall lore and story, I think it is a little bit on the surface level, sadly. And there needs to be more interesting, you know, faction missions. So it's not just like, you know, kill this many enemies, you know, survive this long, loot this certain thing, stuff like that. There needs to be actual missions, and I hope that's coming later. But first of all, the gameplay is satisfying, but there needs to be, and visually it's very pretty to look at, and I do like the art style, but it doesn't, like, you know, scream to me that this is a game that's going to live on forever. And honestly, it would be much better if it was free to play. I think then it would survive much longer. What the hell is that? Don't get close to that. Alright, so I'm gonna go loot here. We might find some other players around here as well. And there is a timer, so you can't just, like, be dicking around the whole time. Can I go down here? Alright, let's go have a look down here, I guess. But, I mean, you can see how pretty it is with the lighting, the shadows, all that kind of stuff. So I do like it, but there just needs to be more interesting missions, I feel, which hopefully comes later. Progression-wise, it's okay, but, you know, I just think they need to add more mechanics to it, so it's not just an extraction shooter. Like, you know, you don't just have to hoard your weapons in a vault. There should be some way that you can kind of unlock more unique weapons depending on, you know, exploration and stuff like that. And having, like, some random encounters that isn't just player-based, so some dynamic events that happen in the world would make it feel a lot more alive. Right now, it's quite a basic extraction shooter. So if you're looking for a well-designed extraction shooter, then yeah, this is good. But if you're looking for that wow factor, I think honestly Arc Raiders has that a bit more. And it's just kind of surprising that this is by the, you know, same people who made Halo. Has Bungie kind of lost their creative punch this much? Alright, I hear gunfire up there. See, so some loot will actually require you to find another item to get into them, which is kind of cool. But there needs to be like more interaction. I do like the fact that there are like sneaky options, like you can go into vents if you are playing kind of more stealthy shell and stuff like that. I mean, I love the Halo games, the original classic Halo games. In fact, I've been replaying them just because I love them so much. Just like how simple they are, but just how everything interacts with the physics and all that kind of stuff. I just love the simplicity of Halo and just how well designed everything is, having these open levels to explore, having, you know, that kind of world really feel alive with all of these different factions. There needs to be more of that, you know. Bungie are good at creating, you know, conflict between different factions and groups, so maybe have some of these groups fight each other as well, and, you know, just have them have more personality, because right now they don't seem to have much personality. They were, you know, masters at environmental storytelling. Right now, like, it's visually pleasing to look at, but there's not much like storytelling that you can piece together, and then all it is really is an extraction shooter, a good one. But is it worth $40? That's really the question. I don't really think it is right now. 10 hours later, we are now exploring the Dire Marsh, and I've got my co-host with me, Doppelrack. You might have seen him from his mini review series. Check out that playlist, is what I'm trying to say. Now, Doppelrack here is a...
kidnapped me, please.
He's a professional gamer, unlike me, and he's had plenty of experience with many different games, and he's not a massive fan of extraction shooters, and neither am I, but particularly he has a strong opinion on this one, so we're gonna hear him out.
Why could the game tell me right from the beginning this is how I see what my... I didn't even know that this was a hero shooter. I am only playing for the video, and then I am uninstalling it. And unless, like, I see other reviews or other YouTubers play this game or hyping up this game, I will not be ever playing this game again.
Alright, so here we are in the marshes, and we've got some gear now, but Doppelrack is not happy about this experience so far. It's very generic, I guess.
I've not been explained shit. Like, I didn't even know there were classes until right when you started recording this game.
My bad. Yeah, well, it does...
I didn't even know about, like, where to find my loadout in my vault. I didn't even know, like, how to turn in my missions. At the very least, the game feels good and it looks good. I'll give it credit where credit's due. It's not like those like Tarkov is... I've heard has stiff controls, and, you know, like, and that's because it's trying to aim for a more realistic style. But this game, like, I can confidently say it feels good. Here, you gotta choose and pick your battles, and not commit to a long fucking shootout because your ammo supply is limited. Hell, I didn't even know I had a fucking ammo box on me for the longest time.
And also, they have this whole faction system where you just take on different missions, but there's no, like, repercussions. Like, if it was, like, an actual, like, faction, like, kind of morality system that you have to keep track of, or, you know, like, they'll send in hit squads if you do too many jobs for a certain faction. Something just to make it a little bit more exciting and add a bit more personality. But as of right now, it's literally, like you said, a standard extraction shooter.
I can't even tell what is my health bar and what is my shield bar. But why are we, like, looting this shit?
The main premise for extraction is to loot stuff, I guess. It doesn't feel that exciting when you pick up a new weapon as well. Like, they're kind of cool how they're designed, but they all are quite, like, basic weapons, just with a cool art style.
Where was the advertisement for this game? Was it advertised?
Yeah, it's just not... It's very generic, very safe, I guess.
Yeah, like, Arc Raiders, I know, is the popular game right now of this genre. What does this game offer that Arc Raiders doesn't? Like, I know what the basic concept of Arc Raiders is. It's a looter shooter, third person. This game is a first person looter shooter.
Yeah.
What else?
That's it.
That's it?
Alright, I'm gonna uninstall it.
Yeah, that's enough said. Enough said, enough done.
So there you go, my wise ones. A quick look at Marathon. I just wanted to do an early access review, Marathon review, looking at what this game is so far. It's not gonna be a complete dud like High Guard or Concord. It's not gonna be the big slam dunk moment that Bungie is back and they have returned, sadly, at least in my opinion. So those are my thoughts on it so far. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. I would really appreciate it. And check out my other videos, my music on Spotify. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go die now because it's the only thing available left for me to do without any ammo. Peace out.